Well, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday to everyone. Listen, thank you for joining in. And whoever is coming in, I want you to get your friends, especially women. Get your friends, get your sisters, and come on in. We want to have a discussion about women in entrepreneurship. So, my name is Phoebe. I'm the host for Phoebe's Place. And I want you to welcome a phenomenal woman, Apostle Dr. Alicia George. Yes.
Hi,
And
Phoebe. How are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. I am hooking myself up right now to Facebook so people can hear our conversation.
Awesome. And do you see it on yours?
I see it on yours. I grab it
Okay.
and here it is.
Okay. And
Yes,
I'm
yes.
going to get those on YouTube as well. I want you guys to join in and y'all like and share, please. Let's see. And then we're going to get going. All right.
Yeah.
So I shared it on YouTube as well. Thank you
Okay.
all for joining and coming in. Listen, we're getting ready to have a very powerful discussion about women in entrepreneurship. And I want Apostle, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself and how you got to this point.
Okay, hi. I am Apostle Dr. Alicia George, and we were having a conversation. Phoebe said she loved my accent, and that's because I'm from St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, but I've lived in California for most of my life, way over 30 years. And
Wow.
yes, it's different, but I go back home quite often, so it's okay. I am the mother of one adult son, and I I'm also a pastor. I do so many things. So I'm going to just narrow it down to this. I am an entrepreneur at heart, have always been. And in the scope of that, I do many things. I'm an author, I
Mm.
am a writer, I also am a teacher, and I just added to my menu, I'm a professor at an online college. So I do a whole lot of different things.
Wow, that is so powerful. And it's so encouraging because when I saw what she has been doing, and actually, you can talk about this, she has a new magazine coming out, or it's out already.
It's
Uh,
out.
See? And I was like, oh my God, we need to support the women in ministry, women in entrepreneurship, and to let you know that you can do the same thing. So tell us, how did you come about having your own magazine along with
So
everything else you have
listen,
going on?
here is a magazine. It's called We Heal.
Mm.
And my coach have been asking me for about 2 years to do a magazine. And I kept refusing. I said, I do not want to do a magazine. I'm not interested in doing a magazine. However, as I kept on teaching on We Heal, which is my
Mm.
platform, Healing from Emotional Enemies, my book that I write, my book wrote that I do so many things with, I decided, I said, you know what? You're in this healing genre right now. Why don't you call your magazine We Heal and gather women that you know who have dealt with some things and may want to express that in the magazine? And so that's how it began. My glam coach, her name is Sonia Pelton Sam, and she would not stop. So I give her all the credit for pushing me to saying you can do it. And when I got this magazine in my hand last month, I was just so in awe of how well it came out and what it offers in the inside. I think one of my favorite parts in it, Phoebe, is a section that's called Ask the Heal Proof Doctor. And it's where I answered questions that people asked me about healing.
Wow. So I am intrigued. We Heal.
Yes.
What caused you to have that title of We Heal from your journey?
Okay. The we means we each heal,
Mm.
because we don't want to leave anyone behind in the state that they were in. So
Okay.
we heal. I went through 9 years of a very difficult marriage. And
Okay.
within that 9 years, I worked a full-time job. I was in corporate America. I traveled a lot from state to state because I was a national sales director. And
Mm,
I would write a lot. I would take a lot of notes. I would have journals. I would have yellow pages. I would have online pages. And when the marriage ended, I gathered all of that stuff together and I went through it. I was looking at my life through this and I said, others can benefit from what you went through. And
mm,
in doing so, that's when I developed and my first published book was We Heal, Healing from
wow.
Emotional Enemies. And because my emotions had become my enemies, and I knew
Mm,
that if I did not get a hold of myself, that I was not going to make it. And so I started to look at what emotions was I really dealing with, what was really going on with me. And the one thing that I want to say is I teach it that rejection is the root of emotional enemies, because all those other things that come in your life, the anger, the hurt, the frustration, the overwhelming, they all come from the root of being rejected. Rejection brings its sisters, its brothers, its cousins along with us and give it a name. The name is anger. The name is being overwhelmed. The name is church hurt. All of that stuff. So that's how I really started this We Heal from the book Healing from Emotional Enemies, because I wanted others to start to heal like I felt that I was healing. I'm not all the way there in every aspect of everything in my life yet. And
mm.
that's why now my platform has been extended a little bit to from healing to wholeness, because we can become healed, but we have to move towards the destination of becoming whole.
Now that right there, no, that's powerful because sometimes we want to stay stuck in a certain area and
Mhm.
we don't want to evolve because that takes too much for us to push through
Yeah.
and evolve to the next journey, healing process. What would you say to a woman who is stuck and don't know how and where to go and how to get out of where they are to evolve?
One of the first things that I would say to her is this: you have to confront
Mm,
what and where you are. If you
mm,
don't confront what and where you are, then you don't know what you're trying to heal or where you're trying to go. So you've got to first acknowledge that you're stuck. You have to acknowledge, like, listen, I teach. Let's get out of this 365 degrees, going around and around in circle. It's time to go 180. So we've got to change direction to get a different result. So if
wow.
you're feeling stuck, you just have to simply say to yourself, listen, I am not going to be in this 365 degree any longer. I am going towards 180. And what is it that I need to do to go to 180? So let me just slip this in here.
Okay.
I teach in my class at the end of the class that you have to have a safe person,
Mm,
a safe person that you could trust, a safe
mm,
person that you know is really have your back. My very first safe person, she has passed away for quite a while. But that what happened is I remembered how safe I felt with her. So
mm,
whenever I start to go back into these things that feel so like I'm going to be angry about something, I'm going to be hurt about something, I identify who is my safe person that I can really share what I'm angry about and how I really feel at this moment. And most of the time, women
mm,
don't trust other women. So we do not identify that safe person in our lives because we put women in this box, but there are women out there that are your safe person. So that's one of the first things I would say. You
Well,
really,
while you're looking for that, listen, go to her website, boss-business-coaching.com. Go to her website. She has so many resources. And you hear, and she is legit. She's a doctor. Not only is she a doctor, she's an apostle. So you're going to get the whole balance of ministry from her. So go on that website and take a look and purchase her book so we can dive deep in there. And yeah, that's nice. They won't devalue you, your feelings, or your beliefs. However, but they will be open and honest with you to let you know, like you just said, you need to pull it in.
you need to put it in. You have to have a prayer life.
Ooh.
Okay. You have to have a prayer life because your prayer life is you are not just giving God orders, bossing him around what you want, what you desire. What you are ready to be a sponge to hear it in our lives. That's why we've got to understand that, and I'm getting ready to do a class in September called Reinvent Your Emotions. Because got to get to the point now where we turn this thing around from where we are. We can no longer continue in 2026 going on like this because 2027 will end up being the same way if we don't make the changes now.
And that's pivoting.
Yes.
We have to pivot.
Yes.
Leave from here and go to there, but it's never going to happen if we don't make that step.
Exactly. That's why, Phoebe, when God said to me, okay, you've been in the space of healing for the last 6 or 7 years, and now you're seeing and hearing everybody talking about healing and everybody talking. He says, I have called you to be a forerunner. I have called you to put things in order and in place. It's time to go to wholeness now. You've settled in this healing space for too long. What does it take to become whole? You got to remember in Matthew chapter 9, when that woman with the issue of blood for 12 long years, she was doing a 360. She was going in the same circle for 12 years. And he said, now it's time for you to head to 180. But how did she get there? She spoke to herself. When she spoke to herself, the shift came, the change came, and then she knew I had to do something different than I had been doing it. And what she had to do different was make a decision how she was going to get to Jesus. And when God gave me this revelation, I'm going to share two of them real quickly as I can. Wanting to be healed. We no longer want the blood to be just dried up and the symptoms and the situations to go away, but we want to become whole, so that we could move to the next place for the next woman, the next, come on. And
yes,
so
God.
That is where I am right now. So when you're going to reinvent your emotions, now you are no longer going to be the same person that I was in 2025. I had to transition. I had to say, okay, what are you not healed about? And when I looked, there was this 99% healing, but you're not whole, because you're still looking for certain things to make you feel a certain way. And until you really look at the enemy of your emotions, and my enemy of my emotion of that time was disappointment. I was so disappointed in a certain situation that I almost allowed it to become bitterness in my life. And he says, no. You can't teach this if you don't live it. So let me get you to the place so you could understand that I'm not working on healing in you anymore. It's time for you to reinvent your emotions and get out and get to where it is I'm really calling you to be. It's time for you to become whole. The other revelation I want to say is this: that same woman with the issue of blood, you remember that in order to be anywhere near a crowd with that type of sickness, to announce yourself. You had to say what? Unclean,
Mm-hmm.
unclean, unclean. And when she made up in her mind, when she came to herself and she said, how do I get closer to Jesus? How do I do this? He brought back to her memory what was the strategy. And the strategy was to say unclean, unclean. She didn't push her way through the crowd like a whole lot of people try to interpret it. She used what God gave her. She started to say unclean, unclean, and those people started to move out of her way. And she went straight to Jesus and touched the hem of his garment. At least that was my revelation that he gave me. Sometimes you don't have to push your way through everything that you think you need to. If God is speaking to you, if he is telling you, I am here to heal these emotions that are out of whack, out of balance in your life.
Jesus.
If I am here, we each have to heal, because if we each don't heal, we'll never become whole.
And we will never get the rubies from being healed like you are providing us. And I want really briefly, I want you to touch on, because we also in our pivotness, we have to know we can't have the same company.
Oh, Jesus.
We have to be aware and be wise of who's in our circle. If I have women in my circle that is always depressed, girl, I know. You're gonna stay in that state. Speak to us in that reference.
It's called spirits.
Mm.
And we've got to understand that spirits find places in which to live. So if you are hanging around negative people with negative spirits, you're going to end up being negative. If you end up hanging around with people who always start stuff and stop, you're going to start stuff and you're going to stop. If you are hanging around the wrong crowd, you got to remember when Paul said, Timothy got to go. He can't come where I'm going. And we've got to leave some people behind. They cannot go to the next place that God is taking us. Listen, because people think a title like apostle or doctor makes you any different. No, it don't. You have the same issues that you have to face and you have to deal with. It just means that you have the authority to walk, in those places, but deal with them differently than someone else who may not have the same anointing, because all anointings are different. You don't, listen, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of broke people anymore. Okay? Done that long enough, been there. It's been all over my life because that's what I allowed. I am not doing it anymore. And I've dropped some things. I've dropped some people. They can say what they want. I know what God is telling me. He is saying, if you stay with the chickens eating off the ground, you will never experience what flying like an eagle is like. And you got to understand that our mindset and how we allow ourselves to be boxed in and fenced in, because this is one of the other things that I teach, because we are always being people pleasers. And when you become a people pleaser, you're going to self-sabotage a lot of things in your life. And those are all things that I teach in this book. You can buy the book and you could teach yourself, or you could buy the book and take the class with me. But I am telling you, when God is ready for you to move, he's going to prepare for you a table and show you who is sitting at the head of that table in order for you to be able to shift out of that stuck place that you have been in.
My God, listen, this, and we're at the end. We're just at the end of this program. But I want you to know, all what you hear, she is powerful. Get the book. This is her website. Get the book. And can you really provide what's coming up for you, and what are your resources, and
Okay.
let us
Well,
have it.
this is the one thing that I really would like a lot of people to be, and I meant to send it to you. It's free. It's absolutely free. You do when you do sign up, there's a $5 registration fee for it. It's called Reinvent Your Emotions, Wholeness and Healing. It's a weekend renewal. And how it's set up on day one, which is September 17th, I'm only taking 10 people that day because I'm taking each person individually for 20 minutes. 10 people, and for 20 minutes, they have me. We talk one on one. Then the
Mhm.
next day, which is September 18th, it's a wholeness workshop. It's an intensive where it's going to be for an hour and a half, and I'm just going to teach similar to what I'm teaching. And it's absolutely no charge except for that $5
Registration.
that will come up with the link. And I could put the link on your page. I'll send it to you so you could put it on your page and they'll
Okay.
be able to follow it. But it is important for us to know that I do have quite a few speaking engagements that I'm going to be in Virginia. Um, um, I'm going to be in I forgot the city in California. I'm just out there doing what God has called me to do.
Yes. Yes.
And to get me on a one-on-one, just go on Boss Business Coaching and book your goal call, and we can talk, and you can see and know what I'm doing. The
Also
book is,
publishing.
oh yes, I am a publisher. I publish books. Calm Lion Publishing. It's running across the screen. I've published 7 books for myself, and I've published about 9 books for other people. And I've also actually really helped with publishing my own magazine. So I am a publisher. So that's one of the major things that I do within my business as well.
And how can they, outside of can they follow you on Facebook? How can they follow you on social media?
I am on social media, all avenues of social media. It's Boss Business Coaching.
Okay.
Boss Business Coaching. YouTube, I think might be Calm Lion. It's
Okay.
Boss Business Coaching because I know I changed all of them. On Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, it's Boss Business Coaching. You can follow me on those platforms. Yes.
Thank you.
And you can
Thank you,
also
everyone.
inbox me. I will answer my inboxes under Apostle. Yeah, under Dr. Alicia, Dr. Alicia Ali George. It doesn't say Apostle. It says Dr. Alicia Ali Ali George
That's how I reached her. I inbox her.
on
Probably a
Facebook.
whole
Yes,
book,
yes.
but thank you so much. This was a blessing to me. So y'all know you gonna see me because I'm linking up with her. But thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your journey. Thank you for making it through what you went through to help us. Thank you for
Yes.
being a healed woman of God. We
Amen.
appreciate you. And again, everyone, get her book, reach out to her, get in her classes. As you see, she has a lot of good knowledge for us spiritually and naturally. And yeah. So I thank you. Listen, our time is up. It's 5:30. Follow her because she also goes live. Talk about your you go
Oh,
live too.
on Fridays, every
Mhm.
Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do have a podcast. It's called In This Space. And I have guests that comes on with me and we talk about everything in this space. And whatever it is you may need to know or talk about, I am available to talk to you and see if we are able to bring you on the show in this space on Friday nights.
Yeah, that's it. So, Apostle Dr. Alicia George, thank you. Have a blessed day, rest of your evening, and everyone, thank you for joining us. Please like and share. I'm going to be posting at the end when this is over, but you guys, please reach out to her, especially the women. Reach out to her, get her book, support her. Okay? All right. Love
Thank you
y'all.
so
Have a
much.
blessed. You're welcome. Bye bye.